Hello guys, so as we discussed, right now we are going to see how the application model conversion tool works for Blueprism. So as you can see, this is DX Exchange. So here you can find this tool, application model conversion tool. And in this tool, basically it will provide you the functionality to convert your like the basic typical browser-based automations on Internet Explorer to the modern browser-based automations like on Firefox, on Edge, or on Google Chrome. So just check the link in the description below. So you will be able to download this tool. You just need to have a particular account with DX Exchange in order to download this tool. So once I download this tool, I will just show you how it looks like. Okay. So when I go here, so this is how this conversion tools look like. In this conversion tool, you can see there is a conversion tool plugin, and there are some conversion tool files, and then there is a BPAM converter. So we will be talking about the conversion tool files in a bit while. So I will just first go to this particular folder. Here you will be able to find this tool. Now, in order to use this tool, there are three major components that you require actually. So if you see, there is this application manager operations.html. This is the very first component that you require. So what is this? This is particularly an HTML file, and what it consists of is, like in your Blueprism, whenever you're using any navigate functionality or navigate action, what happens is you generate a kind of a structure or an application tree in which all the IDs, what the actions are, everything is listed. So this HTML tool will be consisting of that particular part. So you need to firstly load this. Now by default you won't have this generated. So I will be showing you how you can generate this particular application manager operations.html file. So for that, what I will do is I will first of all log into my Blueprism. So let me open my Blueprism. So as you can see, I have the latest version of Blueprism, version 6.10. So you can also download the same. It is available in the resources if you have a valid account with Blueprism at BP portal. Okay. So that now, as you can see, there is this. I have to give my username and credentials. So I will provide that. And then admin. Okay. And once I provide my username and my credentials, now this is how my studio looks like. Now in this Blueprism Designer, what I will do is, by default, I will go to my business objects. Now here you might not have, like let's say, many objects as of now. Okay, so here you will be finding all your objects and processes. So under objects, it might happen you may not have many objects because I've created many such objects. So you can create a new object, and once you create a new object, what you can do is you can just open it, any of them. So I will be opening this particular object. Okay, for instance. Now what you need to do is a very simple thing. You need to drag this navigate stage. Once you drag this navigate stage, you'll be seeing this icon here. So you can click on this information icon, and once you click this information icon, you can see that this particular HTML file gets generated, and it consists of all the actions that are there in your navigation stage, along with different kind of you can say the components that are listed here. Okay, for various applications. So now what you need to do is you need to save this HTML file. So I will do a Control S, and once this option comes, now here be very mindful. There are three options. Okay, complete single file in HTML only. Do not select the default option, that is complete, otherwise it throws an error whenever you're trying to load the operations file. You need to give HTML only, and be mindful that this name should not be changed. Like this should be the exact name, application manager operations. So I will be storing it under downloads. I already have this file, so for as you can see here, so I won't be doing this step. So once you save it, you will have your HTML file there. Okay. And now what we are going to do is, in our Blueprism tool, we are going to simply provide this path. Okay. So I will go to downloads. In downloads, I will be just going to that application manager operations.html. So once I do this, so okay, so now this file has been taken up. So if this is invalid in any sorts, you will be seeing an error message here in red. Okay. Next, what I will be doing is I will be loading a conversion file. Okay, so in this conversion file, now what is a conversion file? So it is basically a set of rules which tells Blueprism like what are the rules in which the typical IE based automation in your HTML mode needs to be converted to your browser mode. So there will be like many IDs that might need to be changed. There might be also some paths that might need to be changed, or some attributes that might need to be changed. Okay, so what you can do is, for this you simply need to go to your folder where you have your applications, like you have this total conversion tool. So if I go here, sorry, backups, I will be going to logic process automation lessons. So here I have it under DX Exchange. Okay, so once I go here, okay, so here you will be seeing this conversion rule files. Now here you have multiple options, okay, like 6.3 to 6.8, 6.9. So for me, I will be using the 6.9 version, as this is the latest one, that I to Chrome Edge or Firefox. So it can convert your I-based selectors, or you can say your components, to your Chrome Edge or Firefox based components. Okay, so I will be just clicking on open. So now if you see, you will be seeing all those parameters, like what are the conversion rules, how they need to be converted, and everything will be here. Okay, so you have your attribute conversion rules, your element conversion rules, and also you have some ID based conversions that you can see here. Okay, like what paths need to be selected. Now if you want to make any change, you can make a change directly in that particular conversion file, though it requires some knowledge of .NET, and that is not in the scope of this tutorial that I'm going to show you. So this will be a pretty basic one. And at the very end, we have the BP release file. Now, this BP release file, you need to release a particular, I would say, kind of the object or the process here. So it might happen that you may not have this file with you as of now. So what you can do is, if you go to your Blueprism, okay, so for my process I will be showing you. So what I can do is, if I go here, I will be just closing this business object, right? So I have a particular process with me, and we will be seeing very shortly. We'll be executing this process, and we'll be seeing what are the changes and how this process runs. Okay. So I have this extract search result suite process. Okay. So this one, and it had a dependency of a business object, that is the Google search business object. So I can just create a release file out of it under your releases tab. Okay. So I already have done so. So if I show you, this is how my release file looks like, test release.bp release. Okay. So I will be just providing this path to that modeler application. So if I go here, I can go to that particular directory. Yeah, so test releases, and here test release.bp release. So once I give this particular part, here I can make, I can like rename what my converted file path should look like. So let me make it something like a modified test release, okay, or BP release, right? And I don't, maybe I don't need this timestamp for now, so I can just keep it like that. And if I click on this button, this is the convert button. So once I click on it, okay, now it will be asking me the path of your browser, the browser in which you want to convert it. It might be a Chrome, it might be Firefox, it might be Edge. So in my case, I will be doing it for Microsoft Edge. Okay, so I have this path stored here. So I have this here. So I'll be just copying this path. So for all Microsoft Edge users, you might have this path, might be common for you all also. So you can check the same, and once you are sure of it, just provide this path here. Okay, so this is the path to your Microsoft Edge application. Once I click on OK, so yeah, if you see the file has been converted, it shows you a message, and here also you can see that this release file got created, right? And I can also download a report of it to just see what were the changes. And if you see, a CSV file also got generated. Now I will just close this, and if I go to the CSV file just to have a look, you can see we have multiple parts. So I will just try to have a filter here, and here based on the severity I can see what were the critical and the warning ones. Okay, so if you see, these are some of the attributes which got deleted, like exclude HTC, match, reverse, launch. So this happens internally by this application, so you can review what were the changes here. Okay, now the one thing I would like to say is, this application changes most of the things, but still you need to check if your modified processes or your paths are working or not. So there might not be 100% accuracy. In my case also, I have seen like this is something that is happening a lot, so you might need to cross check it once. So we will be doing it now. Before doing so, now I have my release file, I will be importing it, but before importing it, let's see the original process, how it looks like. Okay, So let me run my Blueprism process to just show you what it will do. So just to give you a brief, this is my input CSV file that I have with me. Okay, so now what this process will do is it will simply go to each, it will iterate through each and every row, and what it will try to do, it will try to search in Google for this particular keyword, and whatever will be the search results, that search result will be like it will be getting it and it will be writing it into a output report file. Okay, so as of now in this folder, if you see, if I show you that folder path also where I have this process, I don't have anything except my input file. Okay, so you will see at the end of the process an output file will be created. So now let me show you the process. Okay, so now this is how this process looks like. Okay, so it's a very basic process. So I've created a business object for Google on IE. So this is a whole IE based process. Okay, so on Internet Explorer everything will be happening. So now let me try to do one thing. Let me try to run this part and then let's see what are the results that we'll be getting. So I'll be making it on fast, and now I will be just trying to run this. So let me make sure like all my browsers are closed. So okay, so now let me just try to run this. Okay. So now you see the Internet Explorer has been opened up. So this process works on Internet Explorer. So this is what I've created. In case you want to know how to create this particular process also, just let me know in the comment section below. So I will be also posting a video on this particular part. Okay. So here if you see, so it got the result for Twitter, that is around 13 million, I think so. 13 billion, I think it will be, and yeah. So like that, it will be going for the second one also. So for Instagram, now it is looking up for the results. Now for LinkedIn, now for YouTube. So this is 11:45. Okay, and now Facebook, so we have like 25, 27, and at the very end, it will be for Snapchat. So for Snapchat also it took the result, though it was very fast, so you wouldn't see. It just closed it once it got it. Okay, so now we have got all our results and the process has been in completed stage now. So now let's see what our output file looks like. Okay, so now if I show you this particular process, okay, so now this is how your output string will look like. So if you see, we have obtained all the results from Google for each and every string. Okay, so this was a very simple project that I have created here. So now let us see how we can do the same on IE. Now from like on Edge. Now the very important part here is like whenever in your organizations you are working, right? Many times browser might change. Many companies are migrating to latest technologies. Many processors are running on Chrome, Firefox, and Edge now also. So this is something you should know if you are going to migrate your like application environment pretty soon enough, right? So I will be showing you now. So now what I will be doing is, okay, so now once I will now be closing this process, I will be importing that file, the one that we have created, okay. So let me go to release, yeah, so let me go to release skills. Here I will be choosing that file. So this is the one, modified test release. If I click on open, I will click on next. Now it is saying that that both the processes and objects are same. We want to override. So I don't want to override it. Okay, what I can do is instead I will be creating like a modified version of it. Okay, so I will be creating something like an edge extract. Okay, search results feed process. Okay, so this is the one thing I've created, the very first process. Now the same I will be doing for the business object that I have. Okay, so now here I will be making it as Edge Google search business objects. Okay, so now these are the two things that I have with me, and I will be now clicking on next. Once I click on next, I will be just finishing it. So now, if you see here, one more process has been created called Edge Extract Search Results, and similarly, a business object has been created. So the major change now, what I need to do is I need to do the verification part of it. Okay. So now, when you open this part, so this is the release file that has been created by your tool, the conversion tool. Now remember, whenever the conversion tool will create something and it will be changing, let's say some stages in that particular object or process, what it does is it like it sets a breakpoint at those parts. So we will be looking at that. So if I open it, okay, now if you see at all my actions, okay, now there are these default breakpoints that I've got. So this has been set up by the conversion tool to check like if your particular part is working or not. And this is a cross checking that we need to do for each and every like objects or process that you will be like converting. So what I will be doing is I will be removing these breakpoints and I will be just doing a quick test of it, okay, to just check if my selectors are working right or not. Okay, so this was one of the objects. So I think this one should be fine. Okay, Google search is connected. So let me just check. Also in this process name, for now I will be giving a process name for Edge. So this is a parameter that is being passed from my process where I gave it as I explore. Here I will be giving it as MS Edge. So MS Edge is the process name for Microsoft Edge. Okay, and I will be checking if it is connected or not and stuff like that. Okay, and if you see here also in your application modeler, your browser path has been changed to MS Edge automatically. Okay, so what it means is now if I will be trying to launch this, okay, so if you see everything will be launched in your Microsoft Edge only. It won't be on IE. That is one part. So now what I can do is I can test what my connection status looks like. Okay, let me do F10. So yeah, it's connected and this wait stage is working well. Okay, it didn't throw me an error. It means that okay, even on the wait stage the selector is working on. It's a good sign. Now let me try to do one thing. Now let me also try to see if the attach part is working or not. Okay, because that is important for us. So now here if I go here, this attach will come. So if you see here is a breakpoint again, I will be removing this breakpoint and I will be trying to attach it. Voila, it got attached. No issues there. Also. So now if I do it, you see it's working. So I can say this whole part is working fine along with attach. So we have tested these two. So terminate will also work because it simply just terminates that particular part. So it's okay. We can just simply remove that. In the processing part, we have to do some changes because now the process that we have created, it is actually referring to the old business objects that were the IE ones. Now we have to just remap those actions to this particular business object. So to do that, what I will do, yeah, I will obviously save the changes. Once I save the changes, I will simply go back to my Blueprism Edge one. Yeah. So here I have to make some minor changes. The very first change that I feel is the process name. So I send a process name like I told you, and this is IE Explore. So instead of IE Explore, I have to make it MS Edge. This is one change I will be doing. Apart from that, yeah. Now if I show you what objects are my what are the objects that are interacting with the IE application. So this action, this action, this action, I think this action, this one, and this one. So we have to make changes at all these actions. Okay. So for now, what I can do is to identify them. Let me try to highlight them with a yellow color. Okay, not a yellow, I think a red, white. Okay, so now let me try to configure them one by one. Okay, so now if this is IE, I will simply change it to H and I will click on OK. This one, I will again be changing it back to Edge. This one, again, I will be changing it to Edge. Okay. Okay, so I think we have configured all of them most likely. So I will be now changing their color back to black. Okay, so I just made it to recognize them that I don't miss any of them. Okay, so now I think our process is ready for the run. So now let's try to run it and see what happens. Okay, so I will be first closing my IE, and here I can also do one more thing if you want. Let me again try to delete this part. Okay, let me just have the input file part, how it works. Okay, so let me click on go and just check. If you go there, I will just check. Okay, nothing is opened up. Okay, so as you can see, we have navigated to Google in Edge. Okay, so what types in Twitter gets the result. It navigates back to the home page. Similarly for Instagram, it is able to go and see. For LinkedIn also, we got the result. For YouTube, we have two more. For Facebook or Snapchat. So I think the bot has allocated everything, and you see the output stream file got created, and yes, here we have the files with us. So as you see, this is how we tweak some changes, and this is how you can make some changes whenever you're switching into any onto any browser